Hi, I'm Alicia de los Reyes, author of the Chick Lit Cookbook.
And I'm Kelly Rosetta of KMR Publishing, publisher of the Chick Lit Cookbook.
And today we are going to talk to you about why we became what we are now. I'm a writer and Kelly's an editor. So Kelly, how did you become an editor? What made you want to be an editor, rather?
Well, Alicia, it was a long journey. It began, I would say, well, okay, technically, my love of the writing process started with Jo March of Little Women.
Ugh.
and okay, I'm not gonna lie, I was obsessed first with the movie and then with the book. So,
Fine.
all right,
Christian Bale's not in the book.
Christian Bale's not in the book, which is a problem with the book. And this is how I came to love Winona Ryder in her pre-Klepto days. So
I still love her.
I still love her. So maybe what attracted me to the idea of writing was that you got to wear one of those cool, like, purple velvet nightcaps that she wore while she would write. But anyway, so I would say probably it happened in high school. As you and I just reminisced, our 12th grade English teacher, Mr. Shea, had a process for after we were done with our drafts for certain papers. It was like this college prep English class, and so we had to really put a lot of work into revising, which I think you and I both said we never liked revising. We would just write things and then turn them in and, like, take our chances. How bad could they be? Mr. Shea, I think, was the first one who instilled in me this belief that the revising process was, like, equally important. Like revising, especially when you're a kid in high school and stuff, you work on a paper, maybe you work on it for, a week or whatever, and you leave yourself like 15 minutes to look over it, make sure you didn't like leave a page out or something, and that's it. And then he had this process called triage, which also spoke to my love of the television show MASH, just saying.
Great show.
Great show, right? Alan Alda is hilarious. Anyway, so we would triage our papers and decide what was really wrong, what was the most pressing problems and how to work on them. And then that just, from there, my love of editing mushroomed with with the Tufts Daily, the student newspaper of Tufts University, which is my proud alma mater. And, when you do college newspaper, it's like this weird little cult that you're in, and other people don't get it, but you are just obsessed with it. So, and there I went, and the rest is history.
And I think you really, you are good at editing. You really do get excited about editing. It always, shocks me that people get excited about that, because I can't imagine it, but,
And believe me, I don't know if this is true of all editors, but I can still tell you, I hate revising my own work. I've worked as an editor, and then after college I worked as both an editor and a reporter in the journalism world. And anytime I was a reporter, I would happily offer to help other people with their editing or help the editors with their editing. Never what I wrote. Never, ever, ever. I don't even spell check. Hate that part. But anyway, how did you get into writing?
Well, I've always liked writing. A lot of people who want to write say they've liked it since they were really little, and I was the same way. I loved writing when I was a little kid. I would always write little books or stories. And I always liked it in high school. Got good at writing papers, I guess. But there weren't a lot of chances to write short stories, so I felt like I just didn't know how to do it. And then when I got to college, I actually majored in math because I liked math too. But I think I was just intimidated, so I went to Swarthmore, which is really small and very intense liberal arts school, and everybody there was really good at what they did. So the writers were really writers, and the English people were really into English literature, and I never really I still don't love literature classes. I don't, I like analyzing and talking about text, but I don't know, I don't think I could spend that much time, I like reading and writing more than talking about, I don't know, talking about literary stuff.
And isn't it? Yeah, oh, absolutely. I don't also know that there's a lot in either high school or college, and I know I'm coming at this from white middle class view, but do you feel that there's a lot there's a lot of emphasis on analytical writing, which is obviously very important, and critical thinking and all of that, and that's how you become an educated person. But like creative writing is always some like leftover elective you take in your senior year when you need another
Yeah,
credit, but you don't really feel like working too hard. And
yeah.
that's not what creative writing is, right?
I don't know. I mean, I didn't take it until, like, I never took a class in creative writing in college. I just would do it. And then after college, I started writing again on my own. I mean, I was always writing, like, in my free time. Um, yeah, but so I guess I never tried out those classes. Also, you had to, like, submit stories to creative writing. I was just very, like, not confident. It was my own fault. I should have just gone for it because everybody else was doing the same thing. They were all, like, 16 or, 17 or 18 or however old we were. And, like, they were all probably thinking the same thing. They just went for it.
Right.
But regardless, I did not. And then when I graduated, I started writing on my own. I wrote for some like online publications, and eventually I went back and got my MFA in creative nonfiction, which is actually what I think I would call the Chick Lit Cookbook, creative nonfiction. So that was
See how
awesome.
that all ties together? It
It
comes
did. It
full
tied
circle.
together. I feel like my writing career doesn't really tie together yet, but I'm only in the beginning phases. Um, writing at the MFA program, I went to the University of New Hampshire, and it was awesome. The workshops there were great, and I met people who were writing, and it was like the first time where people talked about writing as if it were like a real thing they wanted to do. Like everybody around me was writing a book, and so that was really cool. And so yeah, I've just kept it up. I've written for a couple different publications, and I write on my own, and I'm working on a couple different books. Obviously, I've published this, the Chick Lit Cookbook, but yeah, so that's my how and why I became a writer. I guess I became a writer because I just love it. I love writing. Like, I just love it.
Well, that's the best reason for becoming anything, right? I mean,
Yes. My problem, though, has always been that I like a lot of different things, so.
oh, see, that's why I always liked, and I always came at it from a journalistic or news perspective, but I always said that that was one of the best things about the job was that you got to be an expert in different things, depending on
Yes.
what you were writing about. And so I
Yes.
think for somebody who likes variety, writing, whether it's news, fiction, nonfiction, novels, short stories, whatever, that that allows you to do that. You have variety.
Definitely. And I think actually it's good that I studied math for a while because math teaches you to be concise. You have to write a lot of short proofs.
Which, for those of you who have seen previous videos, you know, being succinct is not my strong point. But that's, so maybe I should have
I don't
taken
think
more
it's mine
math
either,
classes.
though, at least in talking.
There you go. Okay. Well, if you two want to explore your writing passion, I would recommend the Chick Lit Cookbook, a guide to writing your novel in 30 minutes a day.
And you can find out more on our website at chicklitcookbook.tumblr.com. Thanks for watching.
Thanks. Bye.